Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Irvin, here with GarageBots. And today we're launching a new platform on GarageBots. It's called Car Chat. As I've been teasing all week, I have with me my good friend, Carlos Perez. He's going to introduce himself, but he's going to be part of this series. And we're going to talk about many automotive topics over the next few weeks and months. And I'm going to let Carlos introduce himself, and then we're going to talk about a few interesting topics today. Carlos, go ahead.
Hello, welcome everybody to the channel. I hope this is going to be a new series that everybody get to enjoy. I'm going to touch a little bit on a lot of things in the auto industry and developments and things that are going on, but also some of our own stories, experiences that we had, different vehicles and cars. From my point of view, my background is in automotive. I've been in the industry almost 3 decades, and I've had plenty of time to observe how the industry has evolved, and hopefully I bring some of that context into the channel and the viewership so everybody can enjoy something a little bit different point of view.
Yeah, that's going to be cool. The good thing here is, as people know from watching my channel, I don't know much about cars. I try to work on them, and I appreciate cars, and I love to drive them, and I appreciate the design mostly. But Carlos brings some credibility, having been an automotive engineer for 3 decades. So he's gonna make it interesting, right? We're gonna disagree a lot, right, Carlos? Like we do in real life.
We could, but we also agree on many things. So it's gonna be a mix.
Yeah. Let's see what happens. The other thing with Carlos is a high school buddy of mine. So we've known each other from elementary school, middle school, and then high school. So we've been friends for many years. So that will make it easier for us to have a normal chat in this platform. We're testing some new technology today in terms of recording this, some video cameras. Mine has a zoom in, zoom out thing that you might notice. I'm in the process of acquiring a better camera. So as you can see behind Carlos, he's got plenty of cameras because he's also a professional photographer. So he makes me spend a lot of money every time he recommends some piece of gear and equipment, but that's part of the fun. All right. So Carlos, we're going to talk about 2 topics today. I'm going to launch the first one. We're going to talk about Ferrari, and particularly the fact and the news that they've hired Jony Ive, who people might remember was the chief designer for Apple, working with Steve Jobs and designed all of the gear that Apple put in the marketplace for the last number of years. And Jony Ive has his own company, and they've been hired by Ferrari. Do you have more details on that?
I sure do. Since Johnny left in 2019, he created his own separate company called Love Form. And he's been partnered with a good old friend, collaborator, Mark Newsom, which is no stranger in the auto industry, by the way. I'll touch a little bit on that later. But yes, they did announce a collaboration. It's a multi-year, long-term collaboration with Ferrari and with Exor, which is the holding company of Ferrari that has influence in a series of companies that are related a lot into the luxury business, right? So what I see happening here with that partnership definitely goes beyond just cars. If you remember earlier in the year, Ferrari dipped their toes into the fashion business, and they started their own inner fashion collection. They also expanded and created the new restaurant in Maranello. So these are new things that they're talking about and expanding and increasing revenue over the long haul, not just in the auto industry, but all the things that's around it. You have the business of apparel, watches, clothing, and that's something that could easily be intertwined with what Love from may bring to the party with Ives and Newsom. So that's an interesting part. It's not just going to be Ferrari. So all the other businesses around that they have, luxury brands and whatnot, they may be inclined, but the indications and rumors as of today is like their first project is going to be pretty much centered around Ferrari, and not just Ferrari, but Ferrari, their first electric vehicle, which everybody's rumoring and Ferrari talking about that it most likely come around 2025. So if that were to be the case, obviously you want to go hit the market with your best foot forward. That being the case, you got to bring someone that has an excellent outlook and experience on design language, and how it relates to vehicles. It's no surprise. We all know that Jony Ive and Newsom have been involved before in the design or in the work secret project from Apple on the their Apple vehicle, right?
Their electric car, the
electric car project
Apple
that
car,
they hold very secret to. So no doubt in our mind that he was probably involved in that as well. But the guy has been involved in many designs of great products for Apple. He understands customers. He understands design language very well.
No, he's an expert. I guess what worries me, right? I've been a fan of him because I'm a Apple fanboy, right?
Right.
But this is cars, right?
Yeah.
And what I see happening in Ferrari, particularly with the latest models that they put out, the SF90, the new GTB, is a more streamlined sort of line to the design. You see even the headlights are just a strip versus what the headlights that you would see in the F8 Tributo on the Ferrari Pista. I don't know if I like the design language at Ferrari at the moment. I don't know what Jony and his company might bring into more of a streamlined, more elegant line of design. I'm not sure if that goes well with the muscular sort of, appeal of Ferrari, right? Especially as they move into electric and hybrid. That's something that worries me. What do you think about that?
Well, I do think about it and I worry about it, but then I thought also, hey, here's a strong company, very design related, but you gotta understand too, they're bringing a partnership and collaboration, and they're gonna be working hand in hand with the design team currently at Ferrari, which is led by Flavio Manzoni. So that is not going away. So how to develop that side to side and that interface, what you bring new, my fear is that you lose some of that heritage, so to speak, or things that we tend to known for what Ferrari is. However, you know that Jony and Mark both are owners and collectors of some Ferrari vehicles, so they understand design and the heritage very well. My take on it is more towards the side where because you bring in something new on the table, if it's the electric car, right? We got to bring something that makes a great, I cannot miss, a great connection with the customer. And that to me has to be focused on the human-machine interface, cutting edge controls, displays that are logical, sensical.
So are we gonna keep, is the industry gonna keep building a car around an iPad, Carlos?
Well,
honestly, every car you look at now, it's got a huge iPad in the middle, and then a car is designed around it. That's the way it looks.
That's the way it looks. But think about some of the latest Ferrari cars. The full gauge in the IP, right?
Like the Roma that has all even touch buttons on the
it's all electric
steering wheel.
It's all touch buttons. It all senses. My sense is that when he comes in, he may bring an evolution of that, a refinement of that, but also a sense of understanding what the customer is looking for. That experience has to be there from the get-go on a new electric vehicle. It's important for Ferrari, right? Being the first, that has to be the focus. And the driver experience, right? There's going to be a lot of software, a lot more than what it is today. So what to look for, how do you interface the language? I don't see it as him necessarily going toe to toe with Manzoni on it on car lines necessarily, or design features inside the car for seats. Maybe something grows out of both. Partnership talking about it, but
it's gonna be interesting. Are you aware of their new CEO recently appointed, Benedetto Vigna? So he's a physicist, and he was working at STM Microelectronics.
Yes. Yes.
So
Yes.
he's the guy responsible. Some people don't know this, for the sensors that enable the iPhone to rotate the screen as you
Mhm.
rotate the phone.
I was not aware of that. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the new CEO at Ferrari. So
Okay.
something tells me that they want to go high tech. They want to catch on to the EV sort of development wave.
Hmm.
I guess again, like I said before, my worry will be that the design language and what Ferrari has been known for so many years might be lost in the translation there. But we have to see what happens, right? I think you and I can agree that it will be interesting to watch over the next few months and years. But I have a stone in my shoe when it comes to that. Yeah,
Wow. Yeah, I can see
yeah,
that. It's such a classic car, classic brand, strong brand heritage, but it's strong design language, very
yeah.
emotional. It's something that you want to carry on, and
It's emotional.
you don't want to bring that down to a lower level. You got to keep
I
it up
hope. I
as you
hope.
integrate new technology.
Right. So there's somewhat related news that around McLaren. So we're gonna move from Ferrari to McLaren now, and I think you've been unearthing some articles and trying to, put together a storyline here about what might be happening at McLaren as they move into perhaps full EV at some point in the future. What do you know?
Well, the big question is, you say, is McLaren going all electric? And I think, honestly, the answer is not if they're going all electric, it's when.
Right.
And the main reason I say that is because we strongly believe they're at the moment in the middle of just right starting the transformation, what they want to be for the next decade and a half going forward. For example, they have been a lot of news and talks that they would like to have their all their models be pretty much hybrid by 25, 26 timeframe, which means, every model that you see today that is strictly combustion engine will have a hybrid powertrain on it. That's not necessarily bad because you still maintain the combustion engine that we all love and enjoy, the sound, petrol. It's nothing
Well, it's what
like
they
it.
did with the Artura, right? So that's their entry level. That's replacing the 570
Right.
series, and they went hybrid with a V6, right?
Yeah.
But they increased horsepower to like 630, 640
Correct.
horsepower.
Correct.
So it's a more powerful, faster car. But
Yes.
obviously, the question in everyone's mind is, will it sound the same? Will it feel the same?
Well,
That's,
yeah.
it's
So,
a beautiful car, by the way. The design is gorgeous.
mhm,
But you feel that this is the first step
absolutely.
before McLaren goes full electric at
Absolutely,
some point. All right.
absolutely. So from the news I've read and put together in piece, that in combustion engine for them will continue development probably through the end of the decade. Beyond that, it's highly unlikely, mainly due to all the new emission standards that are being pushed by pretty much every single government around the globe. It will be very hard to upkeep V8s and things like that. But what you're going to probably end up seeing is, V8s turning to V6s and turbo V6 and high power,
Right.
high output V6s with all kinds of tricks out of the box to keep up with the technology, combined with a hybrid platform that could bring different elements maintained with the regulations that are going to be around. Literally after 2030, some countries may not be able to sell internal combustion engines by themselves. So they got to at least latch on the hybrid model for the time being. Also, we think maybe by the end of the decade, the hybrid models may be full in force, but maybe we see their first full electric towards maybe 28, 29, maybe 2030, where they might think at that point in time, they might be enough battery technology development that allows them to lower the weight, which is one
Right.
of the key attributes that they have to ensure they keep in check. McLaren supercars, it's all about having the right balance, the right weight, and the driver experience. With that added mass that you get with the battery electric battery, it's just huge. It's a huge
Yeah.
impact, and they need to
So
offset that somehow.
what do you think about and people that own McLarens, they like to go to the track, right? They like to track their cars. And I don't feel that there's still a movement about tracking electric vehicles for different reasons, right? You mentioned weight.
Yeah,
There's the hazards, right? In any accident
yeah,
with an electric car, the
yeah.
fire is almost impossible to put out. Um, I wonder how these manufacturers, including Ferrari and Lamborghini and the others, right, that
Yeah.
cater to a lot of people that like to go to the track, how they're gonna adjust and work with the technology to allow for that to happen. What are your thoughts on that?
It's an excellent point you bring up because I even seen it our local track not far from here, where this summer I talked to one of the track directors and they said they implemented a new ban on electric vehicles racing at the track. And the main reason is like, even if they have the ambulance and the fire department, if there's an accident and catches fire, they don't want to deal with something like that and it would be in
Right,
trouble. It would take forever to dry out. It could even damage the track. That fire going down,
right.
just go straight to the asphalt and ruin the track. So they made a conscientious choice that we're going to ban the electric cars until maybe they have a better way of handling in the future. So think about that.
Hmm.
What does that mean for
It,
businesses that own their own tracks? Do I want to allow electric cars on?
and enthusiasts, right?
That
So
too.
many of the fans of Ferrari, Mercedes, McLaren, they're fans of Formula One, motorsports. They
Yeah,
like to test their cars on the track. If
yeah.
these new cars won't allow for that, I think that's a problem that has to be overcome by the industry, right?
I think
And
so too. And
it's going to
private
be an interesting
solutions.
challenge.
Yeah, it's got to be challenges, but also got to be solutions not only from the industry, from private companies and
Right.
along the different sector. But the challenges are there, no doubt about it. And there's a couple of things I want to touch. When you go full battery electric, power density is key at the moment. If McLaren want an electric car today, yeah, they can go ahead and do it, but can they do it and deliver the attributes they want, right? Weight is key, and they won't allow them to get the weight in check at the moment. So that's key. Speed of charging is still not there, realistically speaking, for a vehicle. And a customer doesn't want to be sitting 45 minutes an hour charging. Maybe the future when you see batteries that tech that allow them to charge a full battery in 15 minutes, then we're talking about something a lot more palatable than half an hour, 45 minutes an hour.
Right.
Depending. I don't expect these vehicles to have a big range anyway. They never have that big range to begin with in the powertrain used today in combustion engines. But being in battery electric, the range I don't think is going to be a point of them to look. But one of the opportunities I may see is like with being battery electric, you may see versions of the same model that do rear wheel drive. They can do two motor all-wheel drive, tri-motor all-wheel drives, or even quads, depending how you want to go about doing it. So we may see some new flavors within the model lineups that they come out, that they could have the same model, but just balance and tweak a little different depending on the number of motors they want to put in. It's a lot easier to add an electric motor, honestly, than adding a
Right.
hybrid to a combustion engine. So those things are going to be beneficial if you want to see a little bit more flavor in the spread of that nameplate of that particular vehicle. What does it do also from the industry and the manufacturer point of view? That amount of added weight has to be offset somehow. So technology has to mature. You got to get more power density on that package, make it smaller and size it accordingly. You're going to see more development in carbon fiber structures. That's
Right.
for sure expanding. You're going to see most likely lighter materials, even more use, titanium expanded usage across to offset some of the weight. Some manufacturers have been able to design carbon fiber wheels. They're expensive, but they offset weight too. They all add up. So you may want to see some more of that in the marketplace. All that comes to be able to offset the penalty that you get out of the added mass of the battery. But there's a bigger question out there. It's a supercar. And
Right.
supercar has something we all love, which is what? That growly feel of the internal combustion engine going through.
Nothing like it.
Where does it go? What does
Right.
it substitute for? What attribute they have to now work on to deliver for customers that the feeling and sensation of the sound, vibration of the IC engine is not there. It gets replaced by whine noise of 1, 2, 3, 4 motors going, and road noise from that point. And yes, the G's are outstanding. The acceleration, fantastic. The cornering, great. You can make it work. Very low center of gravity, fantastic. But that extra sense that makes a supercar what it is today, where does that go? How can we bring that? And what do manufacturers have to do to overcome that? That is a question that I have for all of them, honestly.
I think, Carlos, that will be the subject of many episodes in this series, I'm sure. As you know, I'm reluctant, skeptic about electric vehicles because of what you described. I enjoy the sound of a car. I have, as you know, a classic 1980s, sports car with a lot of sounds and things that are wrong with it, and I love. And then, I have my McLaren, which is fast, but it still, makes decent noise, and it's just a pleasure to listen to as you accelerate. So let's see what happens. I think this is a trend, it's inevitable. We're going to be here analyzing how it develops, different brands. But yeah, we can agree to the fact that this is a journey we're in, and we're not going back, right? And we're just going to see developments and new technology. And like you said, the biggest challenge is how they're going to overcome some of the perceptions, right? In order to get people excited about EVs.
I mean, make no mistake. A lot of EV guys, they love the car for what it is, right? A lot of Teslas, a lot of the new Mustang Mach-E GT. Very fast. Everybody that drives it says, wow, that's outstanding. I'm thinking about the guys that drive their supercars today, and then they get an electric. They're like, yes, it's fast.
Yes, but
yes, but there's a but, and that but over time has to be overcome,
right?
With something. I just got to fill in the blank. I'm betting on probably driver experience, things done differently in the cockpit, things that improve the experience. That has to be there. Not to say you couldn't do it with an internal combustion engine car, but
no, definitely
you have to offset that. You lose the sound. Now what you got to do?
You have to. All right, Carlos, listen, people need to stay tuned to the channel because a friend of mine just got a Tesla Plaid, and GarageBots is going to do a reaction video with me in the car. I hear it's terrifying. He's terrorizing the neighborhood and giving rides to his neighbors. So I can't wait to get into that car and then do a full report of my impressions. So that's awesome. Coming soon. And then more episodes of Car Chat, right? This is the pilot, first episode. Sure, I think it went well, Carlos. What do you think? It went well.
I think so, honestly. Right? I'm a fan already. Hello.
I'm a fan too. I'm a fan too. So I'm asking people to hit the notification bell. Remember to subscribe. The link is here down below here. And we aim to publish one of these every couple of weeks to start with. And let's see, we have so many topics to talk about that honestly, we could have episodes every day. But I hope you enjoy it. I hope you follow it. And then, follow us on social media. All the links are here below. And appreciate your viewership. Appreciate you, Carlos. Thank you for supporting the channel. And I'm gonna leave it there and hope to see you guys next time. Thank you, Carlos.
Until next time.
All right, take care.